Pronouns are he and him. On this day in 1966, June 30th, the National Organization of Women was founded in Washington, D.C. by Shirley Chisholm and Betty Friedan Pauley Murray and Muriel Fox. For over 50 years, the organization has been a vital force in making sweeping changes that put more women in political posts, increased educational, employment, and business opportunities for women, and enacted tougher laws against violence, harassment, and discrimination. And also, for my fellow space cadets, June 30th is International Asteroid Day. On behalf of this congregation, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of Native tribes. Whether you have joined us through our live stream or you are or here in the church, we are glad to have you in this sacred time we choose to be together. We are an open community of learning, caring, and justice making. You are welcome here. Every part of you, just the way you are. Our congregation is served by our minister, Reverend Jamie Dingus, and she's available for contacting the office for pastoral care and to answer questions about Unitarian Universalism. If you are a newcomer, please think about signing our guest book in the foyer of the main entrance of the church. That's when you came in the doors there. To receive our weekly email newsletter. Now, please take a moment to silence your electronic devices. If you have a, If you have a joy, a sorrow, or some important milestone that you would like to share with a circle of candles included in the pastoral prayer, please write it on the white cards in the pew in front of you and place it in the offering basket. For community news and events, please check our email newsletter, Facebook page, and website. This week, we have the additional announcements, which are not really, I didn't find any that are up to date unless someone's got something to say. But it is one thing I want to do right now. I want to say that we are so pleased to have a cellist, Vanetta Billmeyer, joining us this morning. As you can see in your bulletin, she will be playing throughout the service. Welcome, Vanetta. We look forward to hearing more from you and Ron, our accompanist, and we hope you'll join us after the service for a cup of coffee and some friendly UU conversation. We also welcome Rick Lighthall this morning. Rick, where are you? Hey, man. Rick is a longtime Huntsville audio engineer who has undoubtedly been behind the scenes at some music or theater event you have attended around town. He has been advising us here at UUCH for our audio needs and will be sharing his expertise with our volunteers during and after the morning service. Welcome, Rick. We hope you will join us for a cup of coffee after the service, just like Vanetta. And so we may thank you in person for your guidance and your generous donation of speakers. We're very happy about that. Thank you. After service, everyone is welcome to join the fellowship hall for conversation, coffee, iced tea, or a refreshing glass of ice water. Finally, having gathered in a shared quest for truth, meaning, and purpose, let us light our chalice with these words. And Brad Korb is going to help us with this. This is by Herbert Otto. Change and growth take place when a person has risked himself and dares to become involved with experimenting with his own life. And now let us enter into this morning's service more deeply with music for centering, followed by our thread song, 397 in the gray hymn.
Good morning, friends. Welcome in. My name is Ryan Gonzalez. My pronouns are he and him, and it is a joy to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville. I am the office administrator here at UUCH and a member of a fellow local progressive faith community, the United Church of Huntsville. It is such a pleasure to join y'all once again to be able to work together. Let's settle in with these centering words from Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Let us delight in our diversity that offers glimpses of the mosaic of life's beauty. Strengthen us with steadfast love and transform our despairing fatigue into hope-filled action. Our opening hymn this morning is hymn number 1046, Shall We Gather at the River? Lori and I chose this together as the piece highlights the communal spirit coming together as a people who choose to live life hand in hand. Please rise in body or in spirit to sing together. Please join us as we sing our doxology in English and Espanol. And now for our words of aspiration. Please be seated. Our choir will now sing Beauty Calls Me to My Knees.
That's just a beautiful song. I get kind of teary about thinking of that. Oh, can you hear me now? That's a beautiful song. Now it's time for the story of all ages. Those are young folks, young people, might want to come on up front here, and those young at heart. And we'll have our Director of Religious Education, Kristen Warrington, lead us in this part of our service.
Good morning. Again, my name is Kristen. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so excited to see so many kiddos and older kiddos here today. Who has ever thought about learning something new or doing something new or doing something different? And how many have you talked yourself out of it because it's just a little too scary? Yeah, me too. Today, I have a story. It is titled, Why Not? And it is written by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by Gabriella Baroche. What? I was going to keep reading.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, I took too long. I am terrible at turning these pages and stuff up here. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, this is it for real this time, y'all. Okay. This is it. This is your rare and wonderful life. It is the greatest gift you will ever receive. Everything you want and everything you dream of is waiting. You have a vast treasure of talents and potential hidden inside of you. And your life is ready for you to discover all of it. Sorry. Why not find out how remarkable your life can be? Why not make the most of every moment? You were born for wonder and awe. You are here to marvel at the beauty of this world and to experience the joy of being alive. Be a stranger to the ordinary. Get to know the unknown. Why not try something you have never tried before? Why not go somewhere you've never gone before? Stay curious, have adventures, make room for what you love. Discover the world's wonders and know you are one of them. So much of life depends on how you look at things and how you see yourself. You are shaped by the choices you make. How will you answer when asked what you learned from yesterday? When today asks what you have learned from yesterday. And for those of you, I know you can't see it, but I wish you could because this book is beautiful. Notice who sees a kid in this picture? Who sees a butterfly? Yeah, depends on how you look at it. Why not see how good your best can be? Why not make the most of your life? Things won't always go according to plan. The way might be difficult. I'm going to tell you, it is difficult. Absolutely. You may get worn out and tired. You may feel lost. You might want to turn back. But know that every step moves you a little closer to where you want to go if you have the courage to take it. Embrace it all, even the messy parts, especially the messy parts. And don't be fooled by fear. It has a way of shrinking possibilities and diminishing dreams. Have faith. Keep going. You can be the difference. You are made of sunrises and second chances. You are the hope of a brand new day. Even if the odds are 1,000,000 to 1, why not be the one? Don't wait for things to be great, to be grateful. Paying attention is an act of love. Noticing is caring. Beauty is all around and in everything. It just needs you to recognize it. Why not look for the good in everyone and everything? Open your heart, take it all in. This is your everywhere. This is your home. You are connected to everything, and everything is connected to you. Every little bit of good helps. Every act of kindness builds. Every bit of compassion heals. Everything you have ever loved becomes a part of you. It all counts. Why not leave this world a little better than you found it? Wow. I just felt like that was such a perfect book for UUism. It's just so many of our principles and beliefs and ideas. So I encourage not just the kids, everyone, to think of just that one little thing that is beyond your grasp, that is just a little bit scary. And maybe go do, okay, with your parents and caregivers' permission. Okay, please make sure you have permission first. Why not go for it? It could be you. I know everyone has had something they thought that they absolutely could not do, and then they did it, and they were so shocked and surprised. So just get out of that comfort zone with the help of your parents and guidance, of course. And just remember, like, life doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It's on the other side of that. So go out and be brave. And now we're going to sing our kids off to their classes. Thank you.
Love of life to every face. May the kindness Thank you very much, Kristen, and everybody who participated. We are the Unitarian Universalist Church of Huntsville, a proudly inclusive spiritual community, and together we build a broader search for meaning, bolder form of compassion, and braver voice for justice. If you would like to support us with a monetary contribution, we would be grateful. Your generosity helps us to support our various ministries, pay our staff a fair wage, and support organizations that share our UU values, and, of course, to maintain our buildings and grounds. You can donate online using the QR code on your order of service, or you can put a cash or check donations in the offering baskets. It is through your generosity that we continue to serve our mission here at UUCH. With gratitude, we now receive any offering you'd like to give us. Offertory music? Go ahead.
Pray. Spirit of life, source of compassion and connection, join with us as we enter into this time of prayer and intention. Hold us as we hold in care and concern those joys and sorrows shared here in our community. We offer prayers for those in war-torn lands across the world, especially for those in Gaza, as they do their best to continue to survive in ceaseless and wanton horrors. We offer prayers of thanks for the opportunity we had as a Huntsville community to celebrate Pride yesterday, basking in the joy of the LGBTQ plus culture and letting North Alabama know we are proud to be here. And now we share prayers of our community. LaDawn Edwards lit a candle of joy after a 40-foot tree fell in her yard. Brad Pitt responded to a Facebook post with his chainsaw and a can-do attitude. Thanks for all the help. 5-year-old Grayson wants to share the joy of his Aunt Chelsea coming to visit next month with a finally and a smiley face. And Nancy Finley would like to light a candle of joy. Big thanks to all those who came out to be in the Pride Parade yesterday to support the LGBTQIAT community. UUCH had a large turnout and a great time. Let us be moved to compassion for all that has been shared to this beloved community, and for all that will remain silent and unspoken in our hearts. And let's say, blessed be and amen. And now will you join us in singing our responsive music, number 1009, Meditation and Breathing. Some of my earliest memories are of the church, looking up at the wooden vaulted ceilings, much like here actually, singing in the choir, communal prayer. I knew it was something special, something I can now describe as sacred. However, as I grew up, things started to feel conflicting. Words like love, forgiveness, and charity were on people's lips, but their actions didn't match. I was told I couldn't trust the immigrant next door while the pastor would preach the story of the Good Samaritan. I was told giving money to the unhoused person on the corner would make them lazy. But then I'd hear about all the mission work our church was so proud of. I felt such profound confliction. Something so dear to me, something sacred, felt tainted. That was the beginning of my own deconstruction of faith. Deconstruction is a term coined in the mid-2000s, but has gained popularity on social media over the past 5 years. It's often defined as a process of re-examining the faith you grew up with, leading to questions such as, what do I truly believe in? Thousands of posts can be found on TikTok and Instagram with the hashtag deconstruction, or another popular phrase that I sometimes use as myself, ex-evangelical. We can imagine those thousands of people going through the same pain and I'm sure many of you have felt as you learned your personal convictions did not match the actions of the faith community you belong to. That has led me to a question. What can we do to help those who feel the need for a place to rediscover what faith means to them personally? I know personally I felt very shunned from the organizations of faith communities for nearly a decade. The wounds were really fresh. The fear of being hurt again was really strong. I need to be honest with you all. This part of my sermon had to be completely rewritten. I was going to walk through all the wonderful things that I missed from the greater church and how much I missed those things. I was going to emphasize how we can show others our progressive communities can offer the same thing. But then Thursday presidential debate happened. I saw two candidates argue about their golf games, barely any mention of policies, and worst of all, blatant hate speech and fear-mongering. I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, but when I was still ignoring that inner part of me, struggling with the contradiction of my faith and what my community actually acted, those final words would have swayed me. All I can think about now is the quote, which is unattributed: "When fascism arrives in America, it will be wrapped in an American flag and carrying a cross." So no, I won't speak to the trappings of faith that we can provide to those seeking to reconstruct their faith, but rather things I believe all of us need in this incredibly trying time. Hope. It's really, really easy to feel trapped by our current situation, just feel helpless. I know personally, I feel most hopeful on Sunday mornings. Seeing my community gather together to love, to push for social justice and societal change. So my question really changed. My thoughts now are, how can we show those who are struggling with how they see our society that their faith that they once held dear is now being weaponized? Show them that there is still hope and faith, that the church can be a place of collective action. So I'm going to just go through a little bit of my own journey of collecting all of the, if you know me, Lego bits to reconstruct my own faith. Something I've been really molding on for years is America's obsession with individualism. Our society focuses so much on the individual, and the evangelical church really co-opts this. Many of us who grew up in that faith likely remembering being told that faith was about our personal relationship with our Creator. But faith can be so much more than just a personal relationship. We know that individual actions cannot solve societal problems. So I really personally wrestled with that perceived struggle between personal freedom and a collectivist society, both in political thought and theological thought. I mean, I was taught that academically and at my church that these things were no, that word's not going to come out today. They didn't work together. However, I found a resolution between these two concepts in an unexpected space, a space odyssey called The Expanse. It's a series of books that takes place in the near future, and ironically, being Asteroid Day, a large part of this is about the Belters, those that create new cities inside of asteroids. They are fiercely independent, value their personal freedoms to a degree that they're willing to start a war at just the threatening of having those taken away. But something that each and every one know is that all their actions affected one another. In the story, they talk about how there was those that were not doing their jobs, specifically taking out and putting in new filters for the air. Unlike here, literally everyone breathed the same air. So one person choosing not to do their job could literally lead to the end of everyone who lived in the asteroid. And I say literally about breathing each other's air, but let's be honest. We know that that's not that different from our own planet. We can see, as Disney has pointed out, that we live on spaceship Earth. So that's something that I really focused on. Like, no, these things can be together. We can love what we care about, what we think about, while also doing things collectively to move forward. Other things I look at are my own personal faith. I look at, for me, the words of Jesus, especially those talking about how every person we see on the street is him. When we deny helping our fellow man, that we're denying him. I have been really encouraged. Reverend Jamie and I have been talking about the new UU values. She's been really focused in striving to be part of the action to get the resolution passed, which I'm excited to hear at GA it was passed. And I think these UU values are also such a strong way for us to show those seeking new faith that there can be a connection between individual actions and collective change. When I look at things like interdependence, equality, equity, justice, these things all connect together. And it's encouraging and hopeful, which is exactly what we need in these times. So these are all just concepts that are kind of floating around and things that, again, me personally, I was searching for. But what's that next step? What's the difference between having these aspirations and the actual changing and giving people a place to grow? I know for me personally, it was people being brave. When someone, especially a woman who is now my wife, would just look at someone when they said something that she felt was wrong and just say it. I don't believe that. I don't think that is how we should treat people in our society, or I don't think you should say that about someone who can't change something. If each of us took the chance when we have that little voice inside us saying, I know that's not right, and said it out loud, maybe someone would hear that and think, that's what I think too, but I haven't heard that in a community that I trust. So this has been a lot of rambling on a little bit of political theory, a little bit of sci-fi books. And I'm not deluded into thinking these things are going to be the great change to sweep over the greater Huntsville area. But I do really want to leave you with this. There are so many people out there who are hurting, who've had their faith broken down, and are desperate to build it back up. And there's a chance for each of us to look at new truths in places you'd never expect, to take steps to act on their values that we believe in, and to speak truth in places that it may be uncomfortable. Because you never know that might be the spark to ignite a flame of faith in a member of our community. Now please rise in body or spirit for our final hymn, Number 121, We'll Build a Land.
Let us now take a moment to extinguish our chalice with these first principle chalice lighting words. We lit this chalice today in honor of the Unitarian Universalist first principle, to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We recognize that these are not just words to be spoken. Instead, they call us out of our comfort into ever-deepening commitment, a commitment we make to the rights of all those whose inherent worth and dignity are denied, diminished, or destroyed by systems of oppression. And they call us into the practice of looking into our own hearts with courage and honesty. Closing words.
Friends, our worship service now comes to a close. I invite you to join us in the fellowship hall for fellowship and conversation and coffee. For those on our live stream, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now let us leave this sacred time with the simple parting words from Audre Lorde. Without community, there is no liberation. Amen. Be blessed. Let us go out singing our rite of community. 1039, Be Thou With Us.